All right, so we have Vladimir here from Brooklyn, New York, and he's here to share his story because he started studying for his personal training certification exam about 7, 8 years ago. Went about it on his own, did not pass, got a little discouraged, but never lost his passion for fitness and his desire to help other people. He became motivated and finally, re-energized. Came in contact with Body Design University, and now he is a nationally certified personal trainer. We're going to walk you through his story and his top 3 tips on how to pass the national exam. Welcome, Vladimir. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me, Corey. Pleasure to be here.
Yeah. So, what I'd like to start off with is, when I guess, when you first enrolled on your own, and you did this self study, was it completely self study? Did you just like get a book in the mail and dive in that way? Is that what took place?
Yeah, precisely. That's it. It was just the textbook, the latest edition at the time, and he just went at it.
Okay. And I don't think a lot of people know that that textbook is over 800 pages.
Yeah,
It's
something like that. Yeah.
yeah, it's a beast. And
Yeah.
so okay. And how long at that time would you say, when you did it about 7, 8 years ago, did you study for before you took the exam?
I would say, give or take, I'd say 8 to 9 months.
8 to 9 months. Okay.
Yes.
And clearly that there was a difference between after you met, and that time had passed, and then you searched out and said you wanted to move forward and get your certification. You found us, and what was the big difference? I'd like everyone to know, because everyone, I guess, that's already enrolled doesn't have that option, but everyone that has, they did have that option, and then everyone that's
Right.
out there that is thinking about becoming a certified personal trainer. What was the difference that you experienced between going about it on your own versus at Body Design University? What was the big difference for you?
I would say right off the bat is the feeling that you had someone to offer guidance,
Okay.
to offer a bit like some like guardrails.
Okay.
So this way you don't veer off course, someone to basically keep you motivated and encourage you. Because when you're doing self-study, online self-study, well, not even online self-study, just pure self-study,
Hmm.
it's up to you. And you have to be a self-starter. You have to be the one to continuously keep yourself engaged. And there's going to be lulls. And you're not always going to really want to say, okay, I'm going to study an hour a day, 7 days a week. There's going to be times where you're like, I'm just going to hang back and do nothing for a week. But,
Hmm.
human nature can cause us to take 1 week and it turns into 2 weeks. And then everything that you've accomplished and all the knowledge that you've acquired and the time prior, you kind of lose.
Hmm. You start to
And
lose it.
yeah. And with Body Design University, with the help of, in my case, Doug Blake, and having a sort of periodic checkpoint in terms of the exams, having someone actually give you the material, delivering it to you, whether it's audio or the textbooks, so you can keep yourself accountable.
Hmm.
And you can be realistic about how much time that you want to devote to studying and just knowing that you have someone to offer that guidance is crucial
Okay.
and definitely helped me.
Okay. Perfect. And I would guess, maybe, was that also a deciding factor when you decided to enroll with Body Design University, knowing, because we put that in the brochure, that everyone gets assigned a student success coach? Was that a determining factor too?
Absolutely, absolutely, without question, yes.
All right, cool. Now let's go ahead and dive right into why did you want to get certified again? Like, how did you keep your passion alive? And then, what was your feeling behind, I just want to do this. I want to get certified. I want to be a trainer. I want to help other people. What kept that flame burning?
A lot of it just came from within the fact that I did have the lull in confidence after I didn't pass. my initial attempt. And it was just the kind of almost like a bug that just keeps gnawing at you and reminding you that this is something that you've been intrigued by, something that you just can't let go. And from a more tangible standpoint, I would just have people asking me
Mm,
for guidance and instruction because they look at me at the gym and they see I was really hard at it and they'd ask me questions. And then eventually get to a point where you're thinking, well, if I'm able to answer these questions and you're actually seeing people gain actual benefit and tangible results from it, why do I not just actually put into action on a more permanent level?
mm.
And you reach a point where it's just you just realize, okay, I need to stop fooling myself and actually just go ahead and give it another shot, and probably a more thorough and more earnest shot.
Yeah, absolutely. And thank you for trusting in us to support you, to help you be a part of this journey. And but I want to say that I think that a lot of people watching this they're going to resonate with what you just said, meaning that a couple things, but one, when you're exercising regularly and you're passionate about it and you're always showing up and you're doing it, people ask you, are you a trainer? Why
Yes.
aren't you a trainer?
Hmm.
Are you going to become a trainer? And this is something that I remember hearing, and so when you said that, it just took me right back. And I think a lot of people hear that too. A lot of enthusiasts out there that are training that want to become trainers, they hear that from family,
Yeah.
friends, and then just people out and about. So thanks for sharing that. Let's dive into the nitty gritty of like your top three study strategies. So you went it alone, didn't pass, got discouraged, kept the bug, as you call it,
Hmm.
for fitness and desire to help other people. You kept lifting and kept being active. Okay, so then you pulled the trigger and said, "I'm going to do this. I'm just going to do it a little different. I'm going to get some support with BDU and move forward." During your process with Body Design University and passing your national exam, I'd like to share with everyone watching your top three study strategies, like what you used with us that you felt made a difference. We know, your feeling of the support, and we know that, the accountability of having the student success coach coaching you through the process, be there to answer questions. Let's talk about the tangible things that you used when you weren't on the line with your student success coach or your study. What were your top three things that you used to help you pass the NASM exam with Body Design University?
I would say the first thing, first and foremost, was the study guide because it condensed everything to digestible nuggets, for lack of a better word, where it basically broke down the textbook into just fragments where you knew, all right, these are the touch points that I have to know and have to be mindful of.
Mm,
And basically, a lot of the test is going to basically revolve around these particular concepts. Now, obviously, it's not that simple because if it
sure.
was, you know, um, but um, but at least it gave you a starting point where the book doesn't seem so
Overwhelming.
gargantuan, yeah, and overwhelming. The second thing was the Quizlet quizzes. Using that to reinforce the concepts and
Hmm.
gamify them.
Hmm.
It kind of basically made it a little less formal, even though you're still studying, but
Hmm.
you could actually have a bit of a competition with yourself, and it offered a different context in terms of studying. Um, the study sessions, like the study quizzes with you,
Hmm.
those also were very beneficial
Hmm.
because again, the gamification aspect, um, where
Okay.
it's basically like a live test, that also proved very beneficial for me.
Okay, awesome. I'm going to recap those real quick. So, first, the
Sure.
study guide that we provide that breaks down the entire 800-page textbook, what's most important, what's least important, and it kind of breaks it down, explains what you need to know in each one of those. So, our study guide, the Quizlet that we put together for each one of the chapters, and where you can kind of play games and study that way on the go, which is a free app that we just input information into. That's incredibly helpful for developing and memorizing the material. And then lastly, the Quizlet games where we would challenge you, and it was you're under pressure to try to like answer the question, and then makes it a lot of fun. And then lastly, the student support coach, where basically somebody there coaching you through the process.
Mhm.
Okay, great. I think a lot of folks, if you're out there studying with us right now, these are things that he used that helped him. We hear this often. These are things that you could put into practice right away. If you are not studying with us, these are tools that just come with our course. They're all included. Now, Vladimir, now that you're nationally certified and pretty much, you know, good looking guy, fit guy, nationally certified, you get a job anywhere. You could pretty much start your own thing if you wanted to. I'm just curious, and I'd like to share with some of the folks like this just took place like a week ago. But what are you planning to do? Like, are you going to go get a job at a gym and start training like that? Are you going to do it part time, full time? Are you going to start your own business? What are you thinking?
All of the above. But
Okay,
more germane to the question and answer more succinctly, yes. The plan for me is to ultimately start slow. I'd like to gain some real world experience. So currently the plan is because I'm a member at a gym, as mentioned previously, and I have very close ties with the management. So basically the plan would be to observe some of the trainers that are already on staff, many of whom I'm friends with. So it won't be an
great.
issue for me to hover
Mm-hmm.
and watch them in action, which I feel for me would be very beneficial because it's one thing to learn and then it's another thing to put into practice.
That's right.
Um, Also, on the plan is also include eventually taking on a couple clients at my gym. And from there, again, basically gaining real world experience. And then ultimately the plan would be to go into business for myself, accumulating a couple clients and then growing from there organically.
Okay, awesome. So start slow, take on do some shadowing, take on some
Mhm.
clients, and then kind of grow from there and launch from there.
Absolutely.
Well, Vladimir, before we go, do you have any words of encouragement for some of these folks? You are pretty much a living testament. Like, you did it on your own. It didn't. Sometimes it doesn't go well the first time, but there's folks out there that either haven't studied in a decade or longer, 20 years, and they may feel like they can't pass a national exam and retain the information. They may feel they're not studiers, or they kind of define that. And a lot of these are just false associations that they create. You broke through those, and now you're a nationally certified trainer, which a lot of people are trying to achieve. What would you share with somebody that might be watching this right now and also wants to become a nationally certified trainer, but is maybe a little bit doubtful in whether or not one they could pass the exam, and then two that they could effectively train people to get results. What would you say to them right now?
I would say that though it is banal and cliche, anything is attainable, including this. Don't doubt yourself. You can pass the exam. Just have faith in yourself, have faith in your support coach. They're not going to steer you wrong. And remember why you're doing it in the first place. The love of fitness, the love of the idea of helping people and helping yourself. Because you're going to be your first and probably most important client because you're going to be living testament of the work and effort that goes into being a personal trainer because you're going to train yourself. So if you keep that in mind and understand that you don't want to disappoint yourself as your own entity and your own client, it's going to carry you through to passing the exam because it's going to give you that extra boost in terms of pushing you through and eliminate any doubt or any preconceived notions of your proficiency or ability to succeed because you will.
Awesome. Thank you so much. So I don't think everyone thinks of that part of when you learn this information, when you start, you're passionate about fitness yourself and to help others. But how much did you, and we're not going to get into all this, but just I'm saying this in a big picture, like how much did you learn during this entire process that you're using yourself now, right? Like not
Oh,
only
yes.
are you going to help others, but your own training. You've been training for
Hmm.
years. You've been training
Yes.
for a long time.
Yeah.
Then you learn some sciences, and you're like, now you know what you're doing. You know
Hmm.
how you're doing it, and you know the movements. You understand your body differently, and for
Hmm.
everyone, just being able to understand that, like, and not
Yes.
just, hey, I love doing the split routine, chest, shoulders, and triceps, but why am I
Hmm.
doing this? How am I doing the movement? And then your appetite and your passion grows further to help other people. So thank you so much, Vladimir. Thank you for, again, allowing us to be a part of your journey and sharing your tips.
Well, thank you. Thank you for having me. Thank you to you for all you've done for me.
Of course, man. Go out there and make it happen. Good luck.
Thank you.
Ciao.